mistakes here right off the get-go. Susan is out doing other things tonight. It's her big end of the show thing that she's doing. And, you know, we couldn't be doing it without her, but she has other commitments. So you get my smiling face. Now, she's going to be missing a very great guest tonight that I know she wanted to talk to. But the mission goes on. So it's time to do my update before we bring our guest in. All right. See if I can do this at what Susan does. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Well, here it is. This last weekend was our open house. Nobody showed up, but we still were there. But there was a statement made through the conversation over the weekends of, why should I volunteer? I know my worth. I know my worth too. But see, knowing your worth isn't a reason not to volunteer. It's one of the strongest reasons to do it. If you truly recognize your value, then you also recognize that it's needed to be shared. You have skills, experience, perspective that has impact just beyond your paycheck. And if you're coming into Project Die Hard expecting a paycheck, you're going to start as a volunteer, because I want to see the heart, not a resume. See if I can get this thing to go forward. Speaking of volunteering, look, we have Tater Day coming up, the Military Expo coming up, and Operation Big Thing coming up. Why do we need your help? Because Tater Day is here in our backyard. Military Expo is in our region. And Operation Big Thing is going to be seen worldwide. But see, we have to make everything flow, and we can't do that without some serious help. Come and see. What can I say about this? You want to see where your help is needed? Come and see. You want to see where your donation goes? Come and see. I can't stress that enough. From day one, it's been fully transparent. I'm sorry it's not in your backyard, but we are putting a facility in every state. The Lord and the current leadership team has asked and told that, hey, it's time to expand the leadership team. Only the best will do. So if you think you have something to bring to the veteran community and advise this mission, step up. I take my orders from God. I am the steward and the protector of this mission. You have an idea, I want to hear it. If it passes muster, i.e., God says, yep, then we're going to do it. There's nobody higher than God in this world. And if you come to Project Die Hard thinking, oh, I'm going to build my kingdom, you're wrong. This is God's kingdom and God's plan for the veteran community. I cannot stress that enough. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. Now, the last slide. Check this out. You want to learn more? Scan that code. You want to give? You scan that code. Go and support our community support program members. Not one more veteran will be lost to these demons. Okay? Check this out from the Arizona trip. You heard about it, right? Only the best will do. Let's welcome to the team the CARES Foundation. And their programs are coming to Fabrush. So without further ado, let me see if I can do this as smoothly as Susan. Let's get him in here and see if he's there.
Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
Well, for some reason, my camera is facing the way and not to me. That is crazy.
Okay, well, hey guys, see, we're live, we're human, it happens. So, brother, let's see if we can get that fixed because I need to see you. There he is.
Hey, see my bright, shiny face.
There you go. So, brother, tell everybody who you are, what you do,
All right.
and why are you helping us?
Okay, awesome. Well, my name, as it says there on the screen, Todd Lingle with CARES Foundation. When I was 3 years old, my mom and sister were killed by an impaired driver. And so growing up, things were tough. Back in the day, the old adage was buck up, buttercup. You just kind of moved forward. You didn't really talk about it. You just moved on. And so we never really talked about my mom and sister. And I always felt like something was off growing when I was growing up. And fast forward to when I was 30, I almost committed suicide through 4 years of counseling and God pulling me out from that, for one thing. And 4 years of counseling, I learned that I have general and separation anxiety. And so fast forward again to 4 years ago when I started CARES Foundation, and my mom's name was Karen and my sister was Shelly. That's where the CARES comes from, of CARES Foundation. And like I said, I've been leading all of this because when I started, I wanted to speak in the area that I grew up was Idaho, where they had passed. And my dad and I were sitting down with his minister, and we were talking, and we figured out that his wife's grandmother was the first responder to my mom's wreck 47 years after the fact. And we're like, wow, okay. So I was skeptical when I sat down with her, and she goes, no, I knew your family. She goes, it's a very impactful wreck. And so she remembered everything. So she was able to talk to me. And if you see our logo, the one leg of the K that wraps around the other, when my mom died, she was hugging my sister. And that's the significance of that. And God's been leading us, everything we do. Brian, meeting you and Kurt and Susan has been wonderful. And what we do for kids is we go out and we talk with kids. And I say talk with because I talk with the kids, ask questions. And we want to see what's troubling the kids. I talk about peer pressure. I talk about social media awareness, the kids not knowing who they're talking to on the other end of the phone. Talk about distracted driving, marijuana use today. It's very addictive. And then I talk about my testimony. So it's really getting down with kids and understanding what they're going through and helping them where they're at. That's one thing we do. Another thing we are developing is Camp Cares. That's for kids who've been affected by drugs and alcohol or veterans kids affected by suicide. That's where we really want to get in and help you with your camps and different things that you have is with the kids and getting them resources where they're at. Those are things that we're going to focus on, helping Project Die Hard and correlate with CARES Foundation and the different camps that we do. So that's one way that we want to be able to help out. So it's going to take time, of course, to get everything together and build things up. It's exciting time. So individuals, people that are out there watching this, don't set back. If you set back, there's going to be a number of kids that you could have helped. So move forward, call Brian, call myself. Let's get us all connected and start helping kids, because there are tons of kids out there that need help. I run into them all the time, especially group home kids.
Well, again, brother, as far as we were talking out in Arizona, man, as far as I know, I'm the only organization willing to bring a veteran with their family to an in-resident program for up to a year.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't understand that. You know?
You know, when there's always something new, people are scared. I think that's what it is. They're hesitant, they're scared, and it's going to take God
Oh,
cracking the egg, if you will.
again, brother, it's all God, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I raised my kids. Got it. You put me in a room full of kids right now and I go crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no. I came back from Arizona, right?
Yeah.
I had to take my truck to the shop, that little drive, little things, but it had to go into the shop. We
Yeah.
were coming home and we came upon a wreck. Uh, yeah, my last weekend, well, a week ago, was a very tough weekend
Yeah.
because motor vehicle accident, 4-year-old little girl with her forehead slid wide open, and I went into medic mode.
Right.
Right? I went into my mode. Hey, boom, 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 boom. But then the aftermath hit,
Yeah.
and yeah, one of my triggers is little kids
Uh,
because there was an IED that went off that was meant for us that hit an orphanage.
uh,
And me being a medic, what I do, ran in and did my stuff.
right.
Well, that sits in the back of my head.
Yeah.
But again, this mission isn't about me. That's just my testimony of why do I do these things, right?
Right. Yeah.
Military families have kids.
Yeah.
You said get to their level.
Yep.
So let me put a hypothetical into your knowledge of children.
Okay.
Mom or dad has done a couple deployments, right?
Yeah.
They come back. PTS changes people, right?
Right.
How would you explain that to a child? Look, mom or dad still loves you. They're just different now. You know,
Right.
that's got to be worked through.
Right. And that, I think, in that situation, in any situation like that, where you're trying to explain that to, depending on what age child it is, for one, you need to get a counselor that's experienced with veterans that are coming back home, for one. And if it's a small child, a really good way to explain is through books. If you could develop a book, or we could develop a book that talks about those specific things in a book form, then the kids can read it, and they can read it and understand it there, and then they can say, oh, okay, that's where the correlation comes between the two. And so I think that's a key thing.
Dan, brother, I know I'm going to have to get you hooked up with Jasper and friends.
Yeah. Yep.
He is a veteran who writes children's books.
There you go. And that's really something to have them, and then have a counselor review the book and then add in the things that could be the counseling part of it or and stuff. And a lot of times really it's just going and playing with kids and sitting down, and then you they get to trust you and know you a little bit, and they start opening up about what they're feeling. Like maybe mommy and daddy, they get mad sometimes. Well, then it's that opens up, like, okay, the reason they are here, they went and fought for us. Do you understand what, going? So you just explain it depending on what age group they are. Of course,
Oh yeah,
if
I
they're junior
mean,
high school, you can be more direct, but
yeah. Again, that's what the people don't understand about me is, look, I'm just the steward of this mission. I make sure the veterans get the best. Those are the things I think about.
yeah.
Way up here of, okay, how do we bring the best in? Oh, wait, look, I met this perfect guy, the CARES Foundation. You know,
Right.
this is how people got to understand. At Project I Heard, we don't do it all
Yeah.
because there's no
Yeah,
organization that can do it all.
yeah, we don't do it all at CARES Foundation. I mean, I go in and talk to group homes. The group homes, you know, when I go into a group home, for example, one of the first questions I asked, except for the initial saying who I am, the first question is, have you guys as kids ever felt, group home kids felt the persona of, you're a group home kid, so you must be a bad kid? And they're like, oh yeah, we feel that, and we hear that sometimes. And so I'm like, you know what? That's a positive. And they're like, what? How's that a positive? That no, they're crazy. They tell me that. And I'm like, well, because of this. The kids that are still at home under mom and dad's wing, they really don't know what life's about yet. You guys have been through some major things, and you know a lot about what life's about. So I said, as long as you take that as a positive and move forward in the right way and get help and move through it, you guys can make that a huge positive in your life. But you can also, it's easiest to go negative and go into juvenile corrections and go into the prison system and all that. So I said, it's up to you guys. And I think it's a correlation with everything with kids, is you got to get down and ask questions. How are you feeling? What are you going through? Those types of things, and really get
Well,
down and
I agree with you. But now,
yeah,
see, you're triggering there. That's like when I tell everybody, hey, when you see that veteran out of the gas station or in the grocery store, and you ask, hey, how's your day going? Be prepared to sit there for 2 hours because you might be that voice that veteran needed right at that time to go, here it all is.
right, yeah. And we need more people that are willing to sit there, and that's what you're doing. That's what you're trying to do. That's what we need, people to understand in the general public. That, and for me, I thank all the veterans that have fought for me, because I wasn't able to go in the military. And we as citizens, we've got to stop the old, from what I hear, like my dad was during Vietnam, people were coming back and nobody was even doing anything with anybody. And that's the thing we get back. The people are soldiers. They don't just come back and just, they're back as normal again. We need to develop things like you're trying to do there in the camp that's been donated, the property that's been donated. We need to get those things up and running, so these individuals can come in and get help in that transition from the time to get through the PTSD and all that, and then get out into civilian life again. And it's a huge thing, but people need to start recognizing it. And I'm not sure exactly. I know it's been a struggle, and I don't understand where the disconnect is for people and not understanding that. And
Well,
we just
brother,
we keep working at it. It's going to happen.
it's gonna happen. I have every faith. I'm not quitting, right?
Nope. Yep.
This is the thing. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tagged in all this stuff about this funding fake healthcare things and fake daycares and fake this and fake that. that's the problem with us where they're really doing the work. All these fakers
Yeah.
get all the publicity, but
And
us down
I
here
think,
in the trenches doing it.
yeah, I think people are hesitant, like what you're just saying. There's so much AI out now that you can't tell between what's AI and what's not to the regular general public. And it's like, who do you trust? You try to trust somebody one time, and then all of a sudden they take your money and you haven't done anything good. So I think that's part of the, like you were saying, I think that's part of the issue. And it's really what it's going to take is an army, literally, of individuals on the ground going out and talking to people. I think that's what's going to take. It's going to go back to old school, walking through doors and
Yeah,
trying to talk to people.
yeah. Again, just
Yeah.
like I was saying out in Arizona. Look, I'm sorry, I don't have a facility in Arizona. I will eventually,
Yep.
but I got to build what was given by God first.
Yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
that's what people. Well, what do you mean? Well, what do you mean? What do I mean? You want me to take God's blessing and tell him to wait?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
you got how many acres donated to you?
20.
20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building.
Yeah.
So what you need is a contractor to come out and help you build the plans of that first building to get done.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Okay, so we need to focus on, and then you have other buildings there that you want to put on the facility. And
Yeah.
you know what? I really think, and I'm sure you probably already talked about this. I think, we go out to individual places, and maybe it's to individual churches. Hey, church, would you take on one building as a project? What we're trying to do for the community, and this is not going to be for veterans. It's going to be for a lot of different people to be able to come through. And
Well, again, brother, as I said, we specialize in veterans. That's what our facilities
right,
are going to be geared towards. But
right,
of course, if you are helping veterans, you're welcome at our facilities.
yep, absolutely,
Okay. Uh I I've been putting out for years. We have a gazebo out by the pond. We got grills, all that stuff. Hey, ministries, come use it, man. Just invite veterans. That's all I'm asking you to do.
right,
You know?
yep. Well, there's a veteran around every corner. I mean, from all the different wars. So, I don't know why people aren't taking up on that. Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask you, now that we're on here, I can ask you. What I see, you guys have another piece of property that was donated that you're trying to sell, or what is that?
Yep. We got a little bit less than an acre that was given to us down by Lake Berkeley here in Kentucky, Trigg County. We have no use for that. That's not big enough to even turn around and change your mind on.
Right,
But it'd be good enough for an RV if right down by Lake Berkeley. So we've been putting it out. We're trying to sell that and take those proceeds and put it into the mission.
right. Okay. Well, for me, get me some information on the property, and I'll send it around and see what I can do. Maybe I can get somebody to purchase that.
Brother, I will gladly put you in touch with the realtor that has stepped up and said, I'm going to handle that.
Cool.
Actually, Meredith Family Grind, one of our community support partners, he owns that and he does realty. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll handle all that because that's realtor stuff." You know what I mean? I have no idea. Again, folks, uh, as I put out, what can you bring? What skill do you have that you can say, "Hey, Brian, I can make that happen."
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah. Well,
That is
we just
it.
it's, what like I have a friend of mine that had to remind me, Todd, because I've been praying for 4 years since I started this. Well, almost 4 years. It'll be May. In May, it'll be 4 years since I started Cares Foundation. And he's like, Todd, remember, it's God's timing, not yours. And I'm like, oh, quit reminding me of that, kind of thing.
Brother,
I know that,
brother,
and
they remind
uh,
me too all the time.
yeah,
Okay, I understand that,
yeah, same
and
here.
I really, really do. But I still got to beat the drum because we're at 47.8 every day now.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay, I'm sorry, I still got to beat that drum.
Oh, absolutely. No, very much. You never stop that. I mean, 47.8 veterans die every day. That is,
By suicide.
yeah, by suicide. I mean, that's what is it? I mean, this is just. I mean, people, come on. If you're watching this, I mean, that is. I'm doing my own calculations here. If you're going, well, I'm just going to go 48 times 365. That's 17,522 of our veterans dying because of suicide that we can help prevent.
Yeah.
Man, man,
Hence,
we got to get. If anybody that's out there knows anybody that's on TV, a TV radio, a TV station, whatever, that we could get on to blast this out there even more, and we don't care where it's at in the United States, we need to get it out there. So anybody sees this, man, we've got to do something. That's. I mean, I know where I was at when I almost committed suicide, and you know where you were at when you almost committed suicide, and it's like, you feel totally alone, and
yeah.
you know both of us. It was because of God that brought us to the point where we didn't do that, and man, wow, yeah, it's like, Christians, where you at? That's what I'm going to ask. you know,
Kingdom, God's kingdom.
yeah,
Where are you at?
yeah,
Why aren't you
we've got to come
why
together for
aren't
all
you
of this.
coming on board with us?
Yeah. And I honestly think it's probably just because you and I both were small, but we're gaining momentum. And I think it might be one of those things that it's time to do a road trip. And what I mean road trip, I mean traveling across the United States and go to churches and talk about the things that we do, and getting the word out there that way, and you know get a
Oh,
sponsor
look,
to
brother.
take off, you know.
Oh, look, brother. I would love to. Well, you know me. Look, I drove all the way out to Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If it's going to help the mission, I'll go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
And
see,
and the very
I have to work with what I got.
right.
You
That's
know,
that's
that's the problem.
yeah, right.
I got
Yep,
obligations of an electric bill, a water bill, a trash bill at our first facility that have to be paid.
right. Yeah,
So that's where I need the community and the kingdom to step up.
right.
That's why I tell them, if you want to see where your dollar goes, come and visit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
But it's all the way in Illinois. Well, when I was out in Arizona, I drove out to Arizona.
Yeah. And it's easy today. If somebody wants to see that, we'll take a phone out there and show them what their dollars are going to. And so we could do a reel or something like that shows where the money's going and
Brother,
all of
we
that.
got videos out there on
Oh yeah.
YouTube. We got it all. It's all
Wow.
out there.
Well, and it just comes to praying some more and God's timing. That's really, really at the bottom line of it. That's what it is. And as much as it frustrates me and you, that's that's
Oh,
what
brother,
it is.
it's not frustration. In me, it's
No,
not frustration. Okay? Because I know God will provide everything.
Yep.
Mine is more in anger because 47.8 of my brothers and sisters every day are losing their fight to these demons.
Yeah.
And everybody go, what do you mean demons? I've heard them lying in my ear.
Yeah.
Give up. You don't
Yep.
need this. And if that's not a demon speaking, I don't know what is.
Yep. I yeah. It's I just don't understand it. And I know that we're on this world as Christians, faith goers, and we need to rely on God for sure. He's number one in everything. And man, I just it's frustrating. It is really frustrating when you're trying to do such good work and those things just haven't been opened yet. But the thing is, persistence, getting on our knees and praying,
Oh,
that's going to be the way
always.
to go through. And yeah,
Here, I'm going to share something and see if I can do this because the public is going to see this in the next couple days. Let's see if I can do this. Can you see that?
yeah, I can see that.
Castles will crumble and towers will fall. All glory goes to the Father for Project Die Hard. All of it.
Yep, absolutely.
Our facilities are built on His word and guidance.
Yeah,
Where this evil comes from, God only knows. It's His plan.
yeah,
Heaven, Lord, I plead for those who lost their fight with the demons. I plead for their souls. They lost a fight. They're good people. Kingdom and community. Help us complete our first facility. Yeah, people are going
yeah,
to be seeing that in the next couple days. But yeah,
yeah. Good.
that's the things that I come up with all throughout the day. The questions I ask.
Right.
Why?
Yeah. I
Besides the
really
fact,
think
go ahead.
I really think it's gonna and it's for me too. When I'm able to not have my full time job or my 3/4 full time job, to be able to go out daily and I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying I think that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take a number of us to go out and talk to individuals in businesses, in churches, whatever it is. I don't know, they're just not seeing us. I think you're right before when you talk about all the different stuff that's out there, because when we put things on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, whatever, there's some of that stuff that is all AI, and you don't know what's truth and what's not truth.
Again, yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. We use a little bit of AI. You think I got the art skills to do graphics like that?
Right,
No.
exactly. No, right.
Okay. But that's graphics. That's not the meaning behind it. That's not the wording. That's
Yeah,
graphics.
yep,
That's not AI generated garbage.
right,
Okay.
yep,
That is prayer. That is using that tool.
yeah.
I just don't
And that's what it
blindly,
that's what it
and
was
that's what,
intended for. Was what we use it for.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
We
there's
don't
the
use,
unfortunate the organizations or the people out there that are using it for to persuade people to do something that is not legit and not get found out about. There's a lot of that out there. So I think that's where we're at. And then also, money right now for everyone is tight just because the economy, the way things are at. So I'm seeing the same thing as far as donations. Trying to get $25 a month is really, really difficult. And so
Again, brother, as I tell everybody all the time, and I think I told you this too, God has the person out there that can cover it all.
yeah,
They
yeah,
just haven't heard of us yet.
right. And that's the thing. We just got to get more out there more. And I won't give any.
Don't even. When it happens, we will rejoice.
Oh,
But until
absolutely,
then, that's in God's hands.
absolutely, absolutely. And
That's
that's
in God's hands and due diligence.
yes, absolutely. That's key. Yep. And that's what we just keep mind of. And it's and that's the thing, when it happens, it's going to be a huge rejoiceful thing. And because it's all God. It's, I mean, just look at, I mean, what are the chances of little old me finding the first responder to my mom's wreck 47 years after the fact? That doesn't
I,
happen without God directing it.
look, that's a God thing.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
look, that's just like I get Christmas cards still from a guy that lost both his legs to an IED. And I still get Christmas cards going, "Thank you, Doc." And I'm like, "Brother, for what? I'm just doing my job." No,
Yeah.
you gave me the will to fight right there on the battlefield. You didn't
Yeah.
lie when I asked about my legs. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, wow. Speaking of Kurt,
Uh-oh, is he in the
there
back?
he
Oh
is.
no, it's Mustache Man.
Mustache Man. That's a new one.
Ah, look, he's still missing a bunch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he just
told
got off the
Brian
horse.
that maybe I did. You never know. So, but yeah, I told Brian that he's gonna be waiting until like October, November. Did he tell you that I'm working on having him take a pie in the face? Did he tell you that?
No,
Oh no, he didn't say that.
no.
Yeah, it's something I'm working on. So I have a gentleman out there that's out in these networking groups, and he's trying to get the leaders to take a pie in the face. So I told him I'd ask Brian. Brian's like, "Hey, if it helps the mission, you tell me where I got to go and get the pie in the
Yeah,
face, and if that helps fund the facilities." He's like,
I'm good with it.
Bring on the pie.
"Yeah." Yeah,
No,
so
Kurt,
Just make
I
it
told
one you
him,
like, then you can.
no, Kurt, I brought up Tater Day, the Military Expo, and Operation Big Things because
yeah,
that's the pie in the face is November, man. That's so far off my radar.
yeah, but I just brought it up because I'm planning on that by November 27th to change my outlook here and look as close to Brian Gibson as I can before he takes a pie in the face.
I wouldn't.
Nice.
You would, okay.
Well,
Um,
wait. If you want to look like me, that's fine. Just don't go to Annapolis, Maryland.
okay.
Well, I'm already have a little bit less hair, so I'm getting closer that way. You got a long way to go,
Okay.
Kurt. You got more hair than both of us
Yeah,
together.
maybe that's another contest, Brian Gibson lookalike contest.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're having a nice discussion about CARES Foundation joining our mission, and we talked a little
Mhm.
bit about kids, and we've just been chatting, because that's what we do here. We talk about things that need talked about.
Yep. Good
So,
conversation. And it's going to happen for both of us. It's a matter of time. Like you're saying, we get the right person that sees us, and that's all it's going to take. And so, I know God's working, and God's working. And so it's a matter of time that happens. And I know your frustrations, 40, like you said, 47.8 veterans a day committing suicide. That's got to stop. And that's not
okay,
just,
brother. That you're saying you and me. When you said those, I got to change your vocabulary a little, okay? And I'm not griping. This was taught to me, so I'm sharing this knowledge.
Absolutely.
When you say commit, what's the first thing that goes through your head?
I don't know, but
they committed. They did something wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You committed a crime. You committed this.
Right.
Died by suicide.
Right. Okay. I hear you.
We got to remove that negative condensation towards it.
Yeah. I'm with you. Thank you for sharing that, though, because I never ever thought of it that way. I even say that I almost
until I was taught.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
I was taught. That's the whole thing here. That's why when people volunteer, that's how organizations grow. They bring their knowledge, they bring their skills, they bring their things into the team.
Absolutely. And bottom line, these have to stop. I mean, these are people that fought for our freedoms, people. And everything that we have, they've given up their lives for that. And man, I don't understand why even our government isn't throwing more money and helping out more. That's kind of just blows me away a little bit with all the different projects, the different programs out there for people that don't want to work or say they can't work. Here's money.
No, brother. Let's talk about, there's a bill right now that's going through back and forth, right? And like, I know about this bill because my son's involved with it. My son is 100% disabled due to a traumatic brain injury. He was medically retired. So this is what this bill is trying to fix. He didn't do 20 years. So the VA takes his military retirement off his disability. That's so wrong on so many levels, right?
Yeah.
But right now it's stalled because somebody added on a little rider to it to do something else. And one of the people that proposed the bill said, nope, stop, get that off there. Well, if you want my vote, see, that's where people got to stop.
Yeah.
If you want my dollar, you have to do it my way. No.
They're forgetting what it's there in the first place. It's there to help veterans, not your own initiative. That's today's society thought process is me, not we, us. How about God first and then everyone else? And if we did it that way, this world would be such a better place. But as we know what the Bible says, the Bible's dictating everything. I mean, you look at the history and everything, we're going right along with what the Bible says. And this has been a tough one.
I got a few of these floating around the house. Everybody goes, what do you mean a few? Because I don't know where I'm at, where it comes to me, where I got to go. All right, let me.
Yeah, where was that? Yeah,
Everybody's like, well, why don't you just have a Bible app? I just not into Bible apps. I'm into Bibles. I'm
yeah,
into picking up the Bible and opening it and reading it.
right.
Something about the paper or something gets me closer to God.
Yeah, and that's definitely everybody's preference. I do both. So
Yeah.
if I'm in my car and I don't have the Bible, my app up and read, and I find those times, and like you're saying, you go around, you never know what's going to put something on your heart, and boom, there it is. Like, you can open it up or grab the Bible, and you know, and then I mean, this world is what God said I mean, it's what it is. What I mean, God's dictated everything that's there, and it's a fact of we got to come out in this world and for one, our main goal, I think, in our life, well, that's what God tells us, is to win souls for Christ. We want everybody going to heaven for one, and then helping as we go along, helping individuals, and so we got to get the mindset changed. That's the biggest thing that we need to
No,
do. The mindset
brother,
means to be able to help others.
I'm in full agreement. But see, in that
Yeah,
same retrospect, as I try to tell my brothers and sisters, look, man, it can be the worst day of your life, right? But you still got to
yeah,
praise God. What
absolutely.
do you mean I got to praise God? He killed my cat. No, your cat died.
Yeah,
There's a reason for it. Don't ask the reason. It's God's
yeah,
plan. I don't ask him, why does this building have to go here? I don't ask him that. I just know where it's got to go.
yeah. Well, and that's, growing up for me, that's what I asked a lot is, why did my mom and sister, why did they have to be killed? And I did that for years until I went through the counseling, and it's like, there's lots of reasons that could be. My aunt on my mom's side, my aunt, her two daughters all had breast cancer. Maybe my mom would have went through, who knows? You can go
Uh,
through all these things in your head. But the one thing is, they're in heaven where we're all striving to be one day, and they're in a way better place than here on earth. And
uh,
I just
granted,
know,
granted. Now, see, I look at it differently. I look at it, okay, everything I've gone through in my life, everything,
mhm,
that was God preparing me for what I do now.
absolutely. And I look at that same thing with my mom. I now
Yeah, that,
didn't
yeah.
used to. Yeah,
Kurt, chime
and
in here,
every
man.
yeah, and everything I'm going through now, or I have gone through in almost 4 years with CARES Foundation, is the same thing. Is preparing, and what you're going through with Project Die Hard. It's preparing us for what we're going to be doing, and when we've got your first one is all built out. You're gonna be we're gonna be praising God for bringing those things and all the people that it's going to be helping, and it's just a matter of time. And that's the thing. Again, we talked earlier. It's about God's timing, and
Mhm.
and as we keep going, you're still helping veterans. I'm still helping kids. It's just we want to help at a bigger volume.
And we do that each by coming together and working together.
Yeah,
Okay, guys, he alluded to it when he was talking. Every facility is going to have a retreat center that organizations, and guess who gets to go to the top of the line? The CARES Foundation gets to use at no cost to do events.
yeah. It's just going to help more people, and that's what's the whole thing that's great about this, and it's going to happen. Like we say, it's just a matter of time and God's timing in it, and again, we just like you're staying true to yourself and helping the veterans that you can get help as many as you can now. And I'm doing the same thing with the kids. I was called last week by a group home owner and said, hey, so we got a couple girls that are having some issues. Would you be able to mentor them? So this weekend, got it set up real quick. We're going to go have a barbecue with a couple of the homes, have all the girls over there, and I'm going to have a friend of mine come speak, and I'm going to speak, and we're going to get to know these girls a little bit more and going to set them up with some mentorship and stuff. And so those are the things that we're out there. We're in the trenches doing these things. And 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 helping the kids. That's what it's, and the veterans. It's all about that. And that's what my listeners do.
Got to give Kurt a little bit of time.
Yeah, go for it.
Kurt.
Well, I'm just, liking the illustration through the stories, like Todd, when you said about having a barbecue, it's about paying attention to, what occurred in the day, like an email drops in our inbox, we get a text on our phone. There's things that constantly happen. And you both were talking about preparation, think of the preparation that the three of us have had to, be ready to understand what we're doing together, and we're three gentlemen who profess and believe and carry out that, our purpose is his will, so we're in discernment here, what's available collectively, and, where is this taking us, so that when we finish tonight, we embark on tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. Brian and I are going to have other meetings and, such like that. And you, Todd, are going to have your next day, and just keeps building and going. And, so all of it as we come on podcasts, Todd, share a little bit of that. We co-created a podcast called Who Cares? And, so just here we got Mission Monday, but Todd, let us know, like, you have an appreciation of what we're doing here on this live stream because of how you're integrating it into the CARES Foundation as well. You want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Who Cares? We started up, and we're going to continue that. That's how we're getting the word out. We can send it out on different things for people just to view, and like Brian and I were talking earlier, it only takes that one person, one corporation that sees it, that's willing to help, and it touches the individuals and getting the people on it. And one of the things that I want to do with Who Cares is we're going to start having some kids come on and talk about what they're going through in life, those types of things. And that's where it gets more real than just me talking about it. It's these kids actually talking.
I understand that feeling, and I'm in full agreement. Just like what I tell people. When a veteran is ready to tell their story, I will give them every opportunity. But you do not ask me to put their dirty laundry out there, because I'm not going to use them for pity.
Yep.
Okay. I just make sure your due diligence is done and all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed if you're going to bring children onto a podcast.
Absolutely. It's going to be more like teenagers that understand things. It's not going to be little kids or anything, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
That's something that, again, folks, this is leadership working together, because we all have experiences. That's the whole thing of when leaders talk, because and again, I know in my circle, we don't hold punches. Okay. If something comes up, we're going to talk about it. Right here live on our podcast, I just went to my brother and said, hey, make sure you do due diligence on that. Because that's what a good brother in Christ does.
Yep. And it's not going to be for having kids on for pity party or anything like that. It's just going to be for information to have people understand.
Again, yes, it's sharing. what I go through in my head is you said kids podcast.
Right.
This
know.
side of my brain said lawyer, 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 this disclosure, you know.
Yeah.
There's that whole big thing of if we all work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we are coming to the end, so I'm going to start with you, Brother Todd. When we close out any of our podcasts, we give the veterans a message of hope to keep them going until next week. So what do you want to tell the veterans of America?
Well, veterans of America, I will tell you that there are a lot of us that care, and I'm going to put my cell phone out right now. My personal cell phone number is 541-490-5171. My phone is on 24/7. You need somebody to talk to at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, I don't care what time it is. You call me and reach out, and I will find help for you if you're needing help, or I will be someone just to listen to you if you need to talk. So it's out there. Use it.
Kurt, what do you got?
Yeah, well, first thought is like when I was getting into, building the concept for the Who Cares podcast, for with Todd and Cares Foundation, the message is about that we care. So you're seeing three gentlemen out here that care for you. You just heard Todd extend his phone number. I'll add on extending my email address for however that might help. Kurt, Kurt, at projectdiehard.org. And, I'm sitting here not knowing what you may be dealing with, what it is to end, about pain or, emptiness or whatever it is. But we're here, with these messages of hope for you, for to give you something to latch on to, and to know that there are people out there, there's us, many other people we haven't met yet. Brian mentioned about the 3 events we're so excited and putting our faith and trust into, that big things are coming. And the bottom line is you can be a part of it. You can watch the news unfold, what these 3 events are going to bring to us in the couple months ahead, and to get us here at Project Diehard in a bigger and better place. And the whole purpose here is you, to help get you in that bigger and better place. It may seem hard to believe, but believe in us, we believe in you. Back to you, Brian.
All right. Look, guys, girls, brothers, sisters. Yeah, it's real simple. Don't give up that fight. You have to keep going. Because if you don't keep going, we can't keep going. Okay? You guys are the reason God put this all on my heart and why I do all this. There is hope. Just give us time. We're going to get there. With that, Sue will be back next week. Everybody says, yay! Because she brings good things to this mission, especially this podcast. We all do our part. If you didn't like tonight, get over it. Because guess what? We're going to be back here next week where you get to tune in and learn all about what we're doing. And you never know who's going to be sitting in the other chair. All right, y'all. Die Hard 6.